The right journaling prompts can be insanely valuable because life can get chaotic at times. We spend hours and hours on our phone. We spend time working, we spend time cooking, we spend time stressing out. But when do you actually take a moment to just pause and stand still for a second? Earlier this year, I published a self-reflection journal, and the questions I'm about to share generated over 38 million views on Instagram. So I guess they're the most useful ones. Let's get right into it. Topic number 1, the reality check. If you live like the last 14 days forever, where do you end up? Is that a place of joy? Is that a place of regrets? Where are you? Asking this question can lead to uncomfortable answers. But let's say you're on a trajectory towards regrets and towards unhappiness. I think it's better to know now that you can still act on it. And if your answer is indeed a place of joy, keep going. Like you're doing good. Nice. But if it's not, a follow-up question could be, what small change can I introduce in the next 14 days in order to positively impact the trajectory of my life? You could, for example, pick up a small habit, start reading a new book, do some physical exercise, depending on the thing that you're unhappy with. So you can use this question to pinpoint what's good and what's bad in your life. And what are some slight changes you want to make? The second topic I'm about to discuss is the professional you. What do you need to do in a professional context? What job fulfills you? That's what we're going to find out with this question. So we can ask it in two ways. The first one, if happiness was the national currency, which job would make you rich? Or if all jobs would pay the exact same amount of money, what would you be doing? What both these questions do is they take away the financial aspect and they just purely look at what you would like to do. And by taking away the financial aspect, you gain clarity, because all of a sudden the answers are probably very different. This, for example, helped me to decide to start making videos. For those of you who don't know, I did a master's in strategic consultancy, so I could go work at a consultancy firm. But if I asked this question and all jobs would pay the exact same amount, I wouldn't do it, at least not at this point. So then why should I? Topic number 3, your people environment. We need to find out what people to prioritize and which people we shouldn't prioritize. There's a few questions you can do this with. The first one, if a doctor gave you 4 more months to live, which people do you want to spend your time with? Those are probably the people you should prioritize. Another question would be, who roots for you in the most genuine way? Which people energize you? Which people drain your energy? By asking these questions, you get clarity on what people genuinely support you, what people give you inspiration, learn you new stuff, what people make you laugh. Every now and then, asking these questions really helps you to know what people to prioritize. Because imagine you spend a whole lifetime with people you don't genuinely like just because you don't want to hurt their feelings. I think that's not the right thing to do. In the fourth topic, it's all about exposing your fears. And we just need one simple question for it, but it's so powerful. What would be the big audacious goal if you knew you could not fail? If failure was not an option, what would you pursue? What would you try? So then, if that's not what you're doing right now, then why is that? Is it out of a fear of failure? And of course, you could fail, but could you maybe minimize the chances on failure? Could you minimize the damage if you would fail? Like, you can dig deeper and deeper from this starting point. I think if I would be 80 and I played it safe my whole life, me personally, I would have regrets. And that's the one thing I don't want. Okay, let's go to number 5, your physical and mental health. And with one very powerful question, we can get a clear view on the trajectory we're in. If you stick with the same habits for the next 30 years, is it likely that you'll be in a place where you're mentally and physically fit? If the answer is no, we need to change some habits. We want to be fit in 30 years, right? Mentally and physically. So what small change can we make in order to make our mental and physical fitness in 30 years' time a bit better? And the funny thing is that small changes today have a compounding effect 30 years down the line. So imagine you're doing 0 physical activity right now. If you would add in doing 3,000 steps a day for the next 30 years, that would have a massive impact. And the goal of this is not to fix or solve any disease or physical problem. It's to prevent them. It's to prevent you from a disease you'll never have by doing the small habits right now. Me personally, I'm very rigid, very stiff, very inflexible. So I try to stretch for like 5 minutes a day to increase my mobility. Not that I need it right now that much, but I think my 40-year-old self will need it and will be very happy that I did it today. Then the sixth topic, expressing yourself authentically, like who you really are. And we need the following question for it. If you would die tomorrow, is there anything you regret not saying? This gives some very direct honesty in the words you probably need to say before it's too late. Because a lot of regrets that people have at the end of life go like, I wish I told X and Y. I wish I said this and that. I wish I expressed who I truly was instead of according to the opinions of everyone else. And one big benefit of this is as soon as you start to express yourself like who you truly are, you attract the people who truly like you for who you are. So let's give me an example. Imagine you're a really goofy person, but you feel embarrassed by showing your goofiness. No one will know that you're a goofy person, and people who will like people who are goofy won't know that you are. So they cannot be attracted to you. As soon as you start to express yourself like who you are, the people that like that will come to you and build friendships with you. If you show up as someone you're not, you're gonna attract people that like you for who you are not. Are you still with me? So by expressing yourself like who you truly are, you attract all the people that will like you for it, and you'll build a tribe that fulfills you. So last but not least, number 7, your future you. And I want you to go in depth with this. So really in detail, what does the life of your future you look like? I'm 25 right now. What does my life at the age of 30 look like? So you take your age, you do +5, and you imagine what will that life look like in an ideal situation. With who do you spend your time? What are you doing? How are you physically? How are you financially? Do you have a relationship? Where are you in the world? Like, go as much in detail as you can. Okay, so now we've got our future vision. What values do you need to live by today in order for that person and that life you just imagine to exist? So if that's a life of financial prosperity and a professional job that fulfills you, what values do you need to adapt to today, like accountability, responsibility, having discipline, in order to get there in 5 years' time? Because you are creating your 5-year future. This is a lot to do. So what did we discuss? We need to do a reality check. We find out everything about the professional you. We dive deep into your people environment. We try to expose your fears, your physical and mental fitness, how to express yourself authentically, and we create a future vision for your 5-year older you. That's the 7 points we did. And this is a lot to think about. Definitely don't do this in one go, because me even speaking about it gets me thinking and I'm already losing my mind a bit. But if you want to actually do this, if you need a big reset in life, or you just want to get to know yourself on a deeper level, I would suggest journal for 10 minutes a day for the next 7 days. Take one of the subjects each day. So do 10 minutes a day for a week, and you'll know yourself for at least 20% more. You'll know whether you're on the right path. You'll know what changes to make. You'll get so much new information. And I think self-awareness is the base, the fundament of all knowledge. So I really think it's very valuable. If you do, let me know in the comments how you go, because I'm super curious. What job would you be doing if all would pay the same? Like, I'm curious. Let me know. I would really appreciate a thumbs up. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you and ciao.